Hey friends, welcome back to the channel with more My Hero Academia. This is Season 2, Episode 18. And last time, Deku, Todoroki, and Tenya were able to take out Stain. That's really shocking to me and also really cool. Don't know where the rest of the season is going to go. They still have some internships to wrap up, but I can't imagine that takes the whole rest of the season. So yeah, let's check it out. If you guys want to watch the full reaction, you can check out Patreon in the link in the description below. Otherwise, let's get started.
Check out the building with the water tower on top. Zoom in.
The water tower. Shigaraki.
There's people. 2 of them.
Bystanders?
We're leaving.
Are you satisfied with the results, Tamura Shigaraki?
No.
Depends on tomorrow's headlines, moron.
Moron.
Did you sleep, Midoriya?
No, not really.
I figured.
Next to you, who couldn't?
Seems to me he let us both live on purpose. I'm impressed by you, though, Iida. He was actually trying to murder you, but you stood tall.
That's not true. You've got a visitor. This is Hosu's chief of police, Kenji Surigame.
No,
no.
stay seated. Woof.
Woof. Woof.
So, you're the UA students who brought down the hero killer, huh? It's against the law for uncertified people to use their quirks to cause injury. None of you have the authority to harm the villain. That means the 3 of you, and your supervisors,
What?
Endeavor, Manuel, and Gran Torino, should receive harsh punishments for this gross abuse of your powers.
Are you kidding me?
Now, wait a minute. If Iida had not stepped in, Native would have been murdered. Are you saying we should have just stood by and watched people die?
Calm down.
So it's okay to break the law as long as it goes your way?
No, as long as it's
But
right.
sir,
It's obvious UA and Endeavor haven't been teaching you near enough. What a shame.
you damned mutt.
Todoroki!
Whoa!
Listen, he's right! Stop there, kid.
Damn
You'll want to
mutt.
hear him out till the end.
Damn.
What
what?
I've said is the official stance at the police department. But
Oh.
any punishment would only be necessary if this went public. If it did, you'd probably be applauded by citizens everywhere. But there's no way you could escape from being reprimanded.
Tenya
On the
might
other
not
hand,
be.
we could say Endeavor saved the day. Stains Burns would support their story completely, and we could pretend
guess.
you weren't involved. Woof.
Woof.
Thankfully, there were very few witnesses. It would mean no one would know about you, though. You'd receive no acclaim at all.
That's
The
fine.
choice is yours.
They're not in this
Personally,
for
I
the
know
claim.
where I stand.
Either way, we'll need to take responsibility for being negligent as supervisors.
Oh, apologize to him.
I'm sorry. I should have listened.
Yeah, you caused us a lot of trouble. Remember that and don't do it again.
Allow me,
Wow.
as the chief of police, to thank you.
Wow.
You know, you could have started with that.
Todoroki. But the implications of that battle would continue to eat at us, even after our wounds had healed.
Implications.
They arrested the hero killer.
3 villains were captured in the Hosu riots. Their identities and motives are yet unknown. Many are speculating they're connected to the League of Villains that attacked UA High last month.
The hero killer
He's got a horn.
claims many. With his arrest, everyone in the country can rest a little easier tonight.
Whoa. I thought the color was like a scarf or something.
Hero killers.
The hero killer's Stain. Why did he do it? What did he hope to gain? Don't be shy. We're taking calls and want to hear your thoughts. He's all they're talking about. What about my nomos?
This petulant child.
But we didn't even make the front page.
The hero killer Stain was arrested. There were also incidents with villains
Bakugo and his hair.
from the UA attack. Remember, we're here to protect others, not seek out vengeance. May your minds and bodies be as sharp as your genes.
Thank you!
As sharp as your jeans.
Damn it! I'm so ready to get out of this place.
Such shine. Such volume. Such luxury. Easy curls with just one
Look at their
spray.
face.
Uneri hairspray.
We're heroes. This is just what it takes to be a pro.
So, how about we go patrol?
Actual hero work? Aw, they're so happy.
Oh my gosh, that's so scary. Well, I'm just glad you guys are okay. I hope I didn't bother you much. Bye.
Was that a boy?
Yeah, but it's not like that.
Isn't it though?
I can't believe I talked to a girl on the phone! It's like she was whispering in my ear.
Oh my god. Whispering in your ear.
Iida just got his test results back.
They're not
My
good.
left hand might have damage that's permanent.
Oh. At least your hero work is mostly kicks, I think. Though, I don't know. Still a big deal.
Damage?
I'll have trouble moving my fingers, and my hand might have some numbness. Apparently, there's a chance it could be healed with nerve transplant surgery.
Jeez.
You're about as far away from being a hero as I can imagine.
Until I'm able to call myself a real hero, I'll leave my left hand as it is.
What?
Are you sure?
It sounds like more like he's punishing himself.
If I'd been a better friend back then. No, stop it. He's already accepted what happened. It would be selfish to make this about me. My hand is a reminder too. Let's get stronger. Together.
Whenever I'm involved, someone's hand gets all messed up. Is something wrong with me? Am I cursed?
Todoroki, I didn't know you had a sense of humor.
He was being serious.
I'm like the hand crusher or something.
Deku's was self-inflicted. That's your ringtone?
Yes, hello?
He can't possibly be serious with that ringtone.
His tendency to jump into situations without thinking is just like yours, Toshinori.
I humbly apologize, sir. It's because of my insufficient teaching.
I actually called to talk about the hero killer. I saw him only briefly in person, but in that short amount of time, he shook me to my very core. There was something very intimidating about his obsession.
To put it simply, you've both got charisma.
As the investigation continues, his ideology and opinions will be all over the media. The age we live in, for better or for worse, is one of suppression.
If that's true and he inspires copycat villains, they'll probably strike out on their own.
Even if each individual is insignificant, if that evil gathers under one banner, it will swell to unstoppable proportions.
You're concerned it could be the man who killed Shimura, my sworn friend, your master and the previous holder of One for All.
Killed.
The man who opened that hole in your stomach. You're afraid the villain named All for One is on the rise again.
All for one.
For him to have survived such injuries, though, I don't want to imagine it's possible.
You meant he meant to kill him?
Toshinori, you should find the time to tell him everything concerning you and One for All. Be honest. He deserves to know the truth.
My buddies all complain about not being able to sell stuff.
That's because it's a serious crime to develop or sell support items and costumes if you don't have a license.
Man, I missed the days before All Might. Everyone thought they could take over the world. It was a real good time. Can't have any fun when that pillar of justice is around. Maybe it's time for me to finally call it quits.
Don't be rash. Have you seen this yet?
As a child, he was greatly inspired by All Might's debut. Shizame advocated for a return to the early days of Heroes, but quickly realized that words had no power. For the next 10 years, he trained in killing techniques in order to fulfill his self-appointed duty. He believed heroes should not seek compensation, that one should epitomize the idea of self-sacrifice. He believed that present-day pros were frauds. Through his violent purges, he hoped society would eventually side with him.
Come on! Just try and stop me, you fakes! All Might is worthy!
This keeps getting uploaded and immediately taken down online. But they can't stop it.
No, you can't.
It's not hard to... This guy is really stirring something in people. It's infectious. Do you feel it?
These are the
I don't
implications.
think the heroes realize what's awakening. Individual criminals are seeking out the organization that the hero killer stain was connected to.
Even though they're unconnected, or barely connected. Is that a boy you're talking to? So if you're seeing this, but you still haven't seen the reaction to this episode yet, that means I had to get rid of it to unblock this video. But you can still watch the reaction in the link in the description below. Otherwise, let's get on to the discussion. Okay, so it totally actually went over my head that Deku, Iida, and Todoroki had no authority to use their quirks to fight Stain. I was like, for a second I was like, oh my god, are they gonna be famous? But it all got covered up instead. I think things worked out probably for the best with no charges filed against them and without their careers being put in jeopardy. But that's only because of Hosu's chief of police. Woof. Laws that have to have kind and compassionate people in power to circumvent them, they need to be fixed. I mean, if the police chief was like a strict follow the rules guy, or if he didn't like the kids for whatever reason, he could have punished them severely, honestly. And I mean, those were extenuating circumstances. I'll agree that Tenya should not have gone in there for revenge, but if he didn't take Stain's attention, that hero would have died. And what were Deku and Todoroki supposed to do? Just like call for help and then sit there and watch their friend and that hero die? That's ridiculous, right? I don't know. In real life, if someone is being assaulted and I step in and try to stop it, I don't feel like I should be punished because I'm not licensed. I feel like the law should back me up in that situation, which just makes this more ridiculous that they could possibly be punished for using their quirks. And I get this society, this is a society where people all have quirks, and it's still like a very new thing, and it's maybe the laws are put in place as an overcorrection due to a lot of villains coming in and causing trouble with their quirks. But I hope over the course of the series they start making some changes, like Gran Torino even mentions that this is a world of suppression, like it or not. And for instance, Uraraka, her family, they're not doing well, I'm guessing, given how much she wants to help out with the construction company. But the idea that she has to become a hero to use her quirk is ridiculous. I mean, I get maybe some certification exam or something that's, I don't know, pertinent to her helping her family, but it's such a roundabout way for her to have to become a hero just so she can help her family with construction work. Woof. Woof, that freaking chief of police is too good. And think about how far society can go if they all find ways to use their quirks to work together. I mean, there will be other side effects, like Uraraka's construction company could do work so much cheaper and so much faster than any other construction companies out there, and they wouldn't be able to compete. So she could potentially create a monopoly, unless there are other quirks that can also compete with hers. But I mean, they're just putting up roadblocks to like progress, human progress. So it seems odd. But yeah, Surigame, the chief, also led with the fact that there would be harsh punishments for everyone involved, when he could have led with the fact that they're covering everything up and that he was actually thanking them. Todoroki got so mad. He called him a damn mutt. I feel like that could border on hate speech in this type of world where there's quirks, right? Because, I mean, that's a whole other issue that would need to be addressed. I don't think that would ever be, I don't think it'll be addressed on the show, but there's got to be rampant bullying in the society like this. I mean, like, first of all, Deku got bullied for not having a quirk, but there have to be people who get bullied for their quirks being just extremely odd. I'm glad. I mean, we've seen Asui. She looks she looks like a frog, and I'm glad nobody's made fun of her for that. Nobody's made fun of Mina Ashido for being pink. Nobody's made fun of Sukai. Why am I forgetting his name right now? Dark Shadow. He looks like a bird, and nobody's made fun of him for that. I'm happy that's the case, but that can't be the case everywhere, right? I mean, just growing up in this society presents so many opportunities, but it also brings up so many new problems as well. I think part of the reason why they're not being teased and bullied is because UA is a top hero academy, and I guess bullying based on people's quirks is probably less prevalent there. I don't have anything to back that up, other than I went to a top high school and there was like virtually no bullying taking place there. I don't know, but I mean, I guess Bakugo keeps calling Todoroki icy hot, and he doesn't remember anybody's names, and calls them weird things based on how they look and what their quirks are. So I guess, but like nobody takes him seriously, I guess. I guess nobody, it's never been portrayed as like deeply hurtful to anyone. That doesn't mean it hasn't been deeply hurtful. He did call Deku, obviously, but he called Uraraka pink cheeks once, and she was like, pink cheeks? So I don't know. It's really interesting. There's an interesting dynamic here that I don't know will be, I don't know if it'll be examined in any depth in the future. Anyway, the idea that Stain is associated with the League of Villains has become kind of widespread, and he's like a folk hero to these villains. That's quite something. And we get to see some other people at their internships again too. Kirishima and Tetsu continue to get punched by Mr. Fourthkind. Does it count as abuse if it doesn't even hurt them and actually hurts Mr. Fourthkind, sir? Kendo and Yaoyorozu being in that commercial. They're there. But they finally get to go on patrol and do some hero work, so maybe we get to catch some of that in the future. Gunhead, the pro Uraraka's interning with, is so freaking cute. Was that a boy? It's too good. And Deku freaked out about talking on the phone with Uraraka. This boy. I can't imagine how he'll react when like a girl touches his arm or something. He'll just like completely lose his damn mind. But yeah, Deku gets back to Iida and Todoroki, and it turns out Iida might have permanent damage in his arms, and they're like really solidifying for us that this line of work is super dangerous and that there are irreversible consequences sometimes. I'm really hoping that Deku doesn't become the #1 hero like posthumously. How do you say that word? I've never heard it said aloud. Like, I hope he doesn't. I hope they don't give him the rank of #1 after he dies or something. Or maybe he becomes #1 and he gets permanent damage and has to retire right away. That would be. Please do not do that. But yeah, what frustrates me is that Iida doesn't want surgery to fix his arm until he feels worthy of the name of Ingenium, which. Somebody talk him out of this madness. Like, he just wants to punish himself for going after Stain, but what use is that, honestly? Like, how can you focus on becoming a better person and a better hero if you have to deal with I don't know. It just seems like a bad move. And I feel like most injuries tend to get worse and worse if they go untreated, so I'm hoping it doesn't get worse because he put it off. Like, even though most of the stuff he does is kicking, and most of the hero work he has to do is like based on his legs, but still. Todoroki breaks the tension by thinking, am I cursed? Am I the hand crusher? Okay, that's too funny. Okay, maybe if one more person gets their hands or arms permanently injured when Todoroki is around, then maybe we can say he's cursed. Maybe, but that was too funny. I can imagine if someone else gets hurt and Deku and like Tenya like share a look like, oh shit, is he actually cursed? But yeah, Gran Torino talks with All Might and brings up this idea that there's a mastermind who made it seem to the public that Stain and the League of Villains are connected, essentially using Stain to suit Shigaraki's purposes, and that it's the one who killed the previous holder for One for All, a villain named All for One, who is able to stockpile quirks. So that's super interesting that it's just All for One, One for All. It's like backwards and forwards. It's a little different. They just switched the order of the words. And I actually got it mixed up early on in my reactions. I think I called One for All for One a couple of times in my early reactions. So you all must have been like biting your tongue super hard there, or it just like slipped past you or something. But yeah, All Might defeated him at some point. He thought he killed him actually, which is probably why this all needed to be kept a secret. They couldn't have All Might guilty of murdering someone, right? But I mean, I have to imagine that there have to be some deaths going on when it comes to taking down heroes. But I mean, taking down villains by heroes. But I don't know. We haven't seen that happen yet, I don't think. Interestingly enough. But yeah, the episode ends on a ton of villains being moved by Stain, awakening something in them. One lizard guy even looks like he dresses up as Stain. We saw the guy with the burn marks, some huge like muscular guy. Kind of looks like Gao from iShield 21, if anybody gets that reference. He's the freakiest athlete in that football manga. Some guy who uses gas. Someone who looks like a schoolgirl who apparently murdered someone in cold blood. I was like, she does so with like such a happy smile too. It's very creepy. And so the League of Villains is going to get a real boost in manpower, though I do have to wonder if Shigaraki's petulance will get in the way. What if he's just like, I don't like any of you, or like Stain had nothing to do with us, and like drives them all away. I mean, All for One probably took that into consideration, but Shigaraki just, I don't know, his personality is he's too much of a child to take seriously for now. I mean, not take seriously. He's too much of a child to get along with anyone, it seems. Even Kurogiri, he's like threatened to kill like multiple times, I feel like. Anyway, very, very solid episode, given that we're just like dealing with the fallout of Stain. I never thought it would be that interesting. I thought it would just be, we would move on. But he's become a straight up hero to a lot of these villains, and I'm still of the opinion that he gets freed at some point, but it would be like the villain's hero just gets released or just escapes and comes back home to a lot of people who share his ideology, because we saw him like speak to so many people, trying to get them to change their minds about heroes and what they should be. And if he ever leaves prison, he'll understand that he made such a huge difference. It'll be terrifying. But anyway, super fascinating episode. I'm gonna give it a 9.25. Even though like nothing super important, I feel like it set up a lot for the future, but like nothing super big happened. It was still really fascinating. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Full reaction, early reactions in the link in the description below and on Patreon. Leave a like, really helps with the channel, and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, friends.